what is your main achievement after 12 years? Your second tour
Uh-huh.
of duty here in Casa Migrante in Tijuana.
Well, of course, keeping the doors open in spite of all the financial cuts, I think, is number one. And number two, we were able to build the Center Formation for Migrants, Scalabrini Center Formation for Migrants, that just celebrated 4 years of life. And it's working. People are taking classes. We're very happy. We have a lot of migrants. On Saturdays, we have all the Haitians you want to see taking classes like English, Spanish, computer. We've even offered things in Creole, and people are responding. So it's given us a new window into the lives of the migrants to be able to help them in that way.
How immigration has changed from the time when you arrived on your second tour of duty here about now currently?
Well, when I arrived here in 2013, it was 95% deportees. And then we had all the changes up to 2025. And now today it's 95% deportees. So it changed a lot, but then nothing changed because with the new administration, we'll get a lot more deportees.
Have you seen the numbers that they were expecting with the new Trump policies about the number of deportees?
Well, they're not coming along the northern border. They're getting deported, some right back to their country. I know, for example, there are a couple of flights of Guatemalans every day arriving in Guatemala City. My contacts down there tell us, deportees. Other Mexicans are being deported to the south of Mexico, or some are even being deported out of the country, again, which is another thing we never expected. We just expected that they were going to be dumping people in places like Tijuana, Ciudad Juarez, and what are we going to do with all these people? But that problem has never really happened. I don't think they've reached the numbers they would like to reach, and that's why they're doing all sorts of things, grabbing people when they go for their hearing for legalization, and doing all sorts of nasty things to make people's lives horrible.
You were saying that pretty soon the rest of the American society will feel the lack of this labor force.
Oh, for sure, and the prices of things that are going up, it's going to affect them. They're also beginning to turn a little on Trump because of the way they're enforcing immigration with bothering families. They're not going after the criminals. They're going after good, hardworking people, and going after them with masks. And it seems like they're in a third world country the way things are operating. You expect those things to happen in other countries, but not in the United States. So I think it's a horrible system. Sure, they have the right to deport the criminals, and I agree, deport them. But Jose, that's working in the fields 40 hours a week, isn't a criminal. He's working so you can have your cheap lettuce and tomato in your salad.
Do you think that has made a change on the perception of migrants in general by the general society?
I think so. I think people are realizing that a lot of these so-called bad hombres, bad people, are not that bad. They're just hardworking people, family people who were doing a very good job. And now that they're gone, no one's going to be there to do it, and the prices of our food will go up. So I think in the course of time, things will work out a little bit better for migrants.
But I was thinking about, is people more afraid, quote unquote, of a migrant? They have made the migrant scapegoats every electoral cycle, but in general, do you think that now people in general in the U.S. is more afraid of migrants?
No, I don't think so. I think the opposite. I think they realize that not everyone is a rapist and a thief and a carjacker. There are bad people, yes, but there are also a lot of good people, and they far outweigh the bad people. So I think the perception is changing bit by bit.
You were talking about the mental health of many of the migrants that have ended up here, deportees, or I don't know if by their own decision in some cases after seeing all these cases. You were concerned about that, no?
People are being deported in poor physical and mental conditions. We don't have any people who are out to deported. They do self-deport themselves. That maybe one or two have arrived. The vast majority are being deported by the U.S. government. And when they arrive, some, of course, migrants are famous for having health problems because they don't take care of themselves. They don't go to the doctor. But we're seeing a lot of people arriving with anxiety, some with schizophrenia, and serious conditions that need medication, that need serious attention. And we can't always provide it for them. And there's a shortage of cheap mental health here in Tijuana. So I think that's something the government needs to work on. Again, we're always saying, welcome home, paisanos, welcome home, friends. But what does it mean? Not just to say it, but how do we really welcome them? And remember, they gave all their remissions that they've paid over the years that has helped sustain the country. Maybe it's time now that we give back some help to them in their time of need. It would be nice for the government to do a study and see what are the needs, the mental health needs of migrants, and to see what kind of system could be set up to help them.
There's a mental health hospital here in Tijuana. Has the Casa tried
Oh, we've
to-
tried to work with them for years, and it's very hard.
And I want to ask you just to see if you have seen that many of the people who have been deported to the interior of Mexico, or probably to other countries, have you seen cases of people returning to the border to be close to the relatives?
Yes. Several cases, people who got deported to Tapachula, they're from Guadalajara, they go to Guadalajara, they spend some time with their family, then they come back here, because they know there's work in Tijuana. And, so we get people. Our rule used to be you had to be within 3 weeks of being deported. Now we realize that we had to change that rule because sometimes people get deported down south, they go see their family, they come back after 2 or 3 months, and we want to help them out as much as possible.
What is the thing that you were not able to achieve or that you want to see changing here in the Casa Migrante right now after this period?
Oh, I think what I was not able to achieve is what we had in place, a full functioning team. Unfortunately, we had to let go of some people. We had to give up our lawyer, our psychologist. So that really bothers me that we don't have somebody here full time. We're finding ways of supplementing that with different organizations that offer services here in Tijuana. But it's not the same as having somebody in an office Monday through Friday that we know that from 9 to 5 somebody's in that office. It's just not the same. Now you have to wait till Thursday when a group will come and take care of your legal needs, your mental needs.
So you're gonna keep still working, helping from across the border.
Yes.
To the Casa.
I'm going to have some kind of title about fundraising, but a good portion of my life, 25% of my life as a priest was here, so I want to be able to help as best I can. Of course, in the parish where I'm going to work, we're going to ask them to support, to do events for the Casa, but also in any other ways. I could do speaking engagements, I could preach at parishes, to continue to tell the story of the Casa de Migrante.
Does this stay by more than 10 years, for more than a decade, for this Irish Catholic immigrant in Tijuana change you in any way?
Oh yeah, it made me so much more in love with the Mexican people, the migrants, the food, the culture. It's just so full of life. I could never, for example, see myself going back to a small little Anglo parish up north somewhere. I would be lost. That's why I'm so happy to go where I'm going, because I know there's a lot of Hispanics in the parish, and it'll just be changing a little bit, but I'll still feel very much at home.
So, my last question is, you basically are the longest running director of the Casa Migrante, right?
Well, Father Luis was also about 12 years as well.
Okay.
So
But he came just once,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and so how do you feel now that you are leaving? Are you feeling relief, or do you feeling, you told us that you are not triste, sad, because you're leaving the Casa
No,
Migrante.
because I gave it my all. 12 years is a good amount of time. Also when you stay too long in a place, then you get stale. And what bothers you most here are the little things. A broken pipe, a worker can't come today, a donation that didn't arrive. We need money for this, money for that. So not having to deal with that will be a great relief. And I could just be in ministry with people. That's what I want to be. I'm 73. I hope God gives me a few more years so I can continue to serve His people.
Eso esperamos. Thank you very much for not just for the opportunity of talking to you again, but also for the service done for this community.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, very,
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you.